Feeling like you're not good enough is so pervasive. I don't know if there's anyone I've ever talked to who hasn't experienced these feelings. Hey there, Jen here, and in today's video, I'm going to explain how to get rid of those feelings of never good enough that are holding you back and keeping you from living your best life. But first, let me quickly introduce myself in case this is the first time you've watched one of my YouTube videos. My name is Jenn Lawlor, and I'm a self-directed healing practitioner, and I help people who are super tired of feeling stuck, struggling with the aftermath of childhood trauma. I help them process and release the suppressed emotional and mental blocks forming the roots of their struggles so that they can be free of their past and get on with living a peaceful and fulfilled life. So the unique part of the work that I do with self-directed healing is a very strong belief that pain must be processed. Not by talking it out with your friends or by tapping it out or muscle testing it out. I'm talking about processing it by feeling it in your body. Because if you choose any other way other than processing it by actually feeling the pain, that means that it will stay inside you. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of how to reverse feelings of never good enough, I want to first just point out that there was a single moment in time when the seed, "I'm not good enough," was planted. It was a time, likely when you were very young, and your entire world was based on love. Love was either there or it wasn't. And in those moments when love wasn't there, you felt terrible. You felt sad, lonely, disconnected, like your world had just fallen apart. And because way back then, your entire way of seeing the world was egocentric, you concluded that the reason there was no love was because of you, because you weren't enough. And once that initial conclusion was made and the seed was planted, it started to grow roots and it became your default conclusion every time afterwards when you felt the same kind of pain. So how do you reverse or get rid of those feelings of never good enough that have been with you for so long? Well, the only way to truly overcome it is by feeling the same pain you felt back then when the seed was planted and every single time afterwards, feeling it in your physical body. And I'm not talking about just feeling it a little bit and then being done with it. I'm talking about feeling it to its utmost intensity until it leaves your body on its own. And when I work with clients one-on-one or in group healing sessions, I guide them back to the originating event, the very first time when the seed was planted and the conclusion was made that you aren't good enough. Now, before you're like, whoa, I'm out of here. That sounds like a lot of pain and I don't like feeling pain. Don't worry. Sure, it's going to be confronting. Sure, it's going to be a little hard, but it doesn't take long if you do it right. And besides, all that pain is already in you right now, and you're carrying it around with you every single moment of every single day. The only thing that's different is that with this, you're going to go directly into the eye of the storm, feel it for a short, intense period, and then releasing it so you don't have to feel it anymore. Now, a lot of people ask me why this works. Why feeling the belief and emotions in your body to its fullest extent causes them to release. And there are two parts to my answer. The first part of my answer is that the belief simply isn't true. And I'm talking about universally true. Kind of like gravity. It's just true. It's a thing, right? And I know right now that being good enough may feel really true to you, but it just isn't. And I don't need to know you to tell you that. Way back when you were a little boy or girl and you first decided that you weren't good enough, well, that was a mistake that you made. You were absolutely good enough in all your little cuteness. Telling yourself that it was your fault, that you weren't good enough, was just the best that you could come up with at a time when your entire world was based on this currency of love. Love was either there or wasn't, and when it wasn't, you decided that it was because you weren't enough. That's all. Now, the second part of my answer is this. When you take your wounded self seriously, and by wounded self, I'm talking about the part of you that has been feeling not good enough for so long, when you take this part of yourself seriously enough to feel the pain this part of you feels day in and day out, what you're doing is essentially reparenting yourself. You're not invalidating the pain by trying to make it better. You're going into the eye of the storm and you're staying the difficult course. And by doing this, you're validating the pain this part of you still feels. And as you know, if you've ever spent any time around a child, all you really need to do when a child is in pain is simply be there with them, feeling their pain with them, and validating it with words like, yes, you are so sad inside right now. It's just awful. It hurts, doesn't it? And usually within minutes, their pain just poof, processes and releases, and they're on to the next thing. So I wish I had time in this short video to walk you through a mini healing session, but I simply don't. What I do have for you is a 40-minute pre-recorded healing masterclass that you can access and try right away. Inside the masterclass, I will guide you through a mini healing session that will allow you to process and release your feelings of never good enough. To get instant access to this free healing masterclass, simply click the link in the description down below this video. And if you liked this video and you want to see more like it, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and feel free to leave me a comment down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.